Just like the movie says a little bit, but your character goes a little bit out of, you know, your real life instincts, I guess.
Yes, yes. I definitely was not very happy what I did to babies in this movie. Yeah. If you're not enticed now to go and see the film, then I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I mean, I was enticed by you being there and obviously by you giving this character such a life. So how much input did you give to her? How much did you want to morph her into giving more ideas about what a cyber terrorist, I guess, is?
Yeah, I mean, not so much the cyber terrorism. I mean, that was logistically how to get her into the story. But what I really loved was Universal started talking to me about 4 years ago about the idea. And when it finally kind of came, there was a realization they were going to put it in 8 versus 7. The writer, Chris Morgan, spent a lot of time with me with great ideas and was very collaborative. So was Neil Moritz, the producer. And so we kind of just built this character around what the story needed and how she could kind of service that story and change it and shake it up on its head a little bit. And from that, we birthed this, you know, dread-wearing psychopath.
Well, she's a lot of fun. I'm sure it was the same for you. Let's talk about the look. I mean, I was inspired by her look for my Fast and Furious special because, you know, she's
You look great. Yes.
Thank you.
Very Cypher-esque.
Yes, exactly. Just the hair. Does it take a long time to get there?
It wasn't that long. It should have been longer. It just goes to show how good my hair guy is, who I've worked for 20 years. He's amazing, and he knows how much I hate sitting in the chair, but he built that entire wig in like 5 weeks, and then he would weave my own hair into the wig so that there was never any lace or anything like that, and it was a very heavy wig. And he twisted every single one of those dreadlocks.
The power of details.
Yeah, yeah.
Were you ever a car fan? Did you become a car fan, and more vintage or more modern?
I feel like there's a little bit of a car fan inside me. I was raised by 2 people who ran a road construction business. My father was an engineer. I grew up on a property where there was constantly cars being bought on auction and engines being changed out to kind of soup them up with, you know, all sorts of different like motorcycle engines and things like that. And at 8, I could drive. I mean, that was just kind of normal for the area where I was raised. And I think that car culture love stayed with me. I definitely have it. I like the vintage cars. I mean, how can you not in Cuba? It's all 1950s. And
gorgeous.
I mean, and then it just stops. It's incredible. And then I like new cars too, you know? I think the little Corvette that Michelle Rodriguez drives in it is pretty badass.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Everything's badass about this film, quote unquote. And finally, you know, her being such a computer whiz and you being so active on social media, how important is it now that there's an immediate communication between people, between, you know, celebrities and their fans?
Well, it's nice to have a little bit of that ownership, you know? I think it's changed the whole world of kind of just gossip and reckless writing about people because you can actually go and rectify a lot of that stuff. I don't necessarily use it for a lot of that. I like the misconceptions. I do love that I can actually talk about things that matter to me to an audience that find those things interesting as well. You know, but this character really kind of, I think, wakes up the fear that I have inside of myself of just how you can misuse technology. So I worry about that too, which makes me very old school.